Hey y'all, this is TCA Gaming, and in this video I'm going to show you guys an updated video of my Charizard collection. So most of this is going to be the English stuff. I am going to show you some of the extras that I have of vintage, along with a lot of the older, mid-era, modern. I know I've done some of these boxes like individually, but I don't think I've done all of these at once. The only things that I will not be showing are some of the uncut sheets, and then maybe like if I have quantity of some of the modern cards. But if I have quantity of the vintage, then I might show some of that. But we're going to start off with my PSA 10 collection from Generation 3 through the modern sets. And then I'm going to go into some of the WotC era, as well as some of the more niche stuff like Topps Chrome. I'm going to show you some other things as well. And so the reason I'm doing this is because I don't know if I've documented all these together, but the prices on these cards have been very, very high recently, especially some of these lower pop English stuff. And so we're starting here with the first Charizard that come from Generation 3. We've got the EX Dragon number 100. It was the secret rare. There was the Charmander, Charmeleon, and then there was a National Champion version and then a regular version. Now, EX Dragon did have reverse hollows, but it did not for the secret rares. It did for all the other cards. Next up, we have Fire Red Leaf Green. This used to be the rival of the first edition base set Charizard. Next up, we have Crystal Guardian. So we skip several sets. We go all the way to, what is this, two years later? Yeah, 2 years without a Charizard. Can you imagine nowadays 2 years without a Charizard? But you have the regular version, and then you have the reverse hollow version, which back then, these were technically like parallel hollows. You can see how it's not reverse in hollow in this area. Now the border is, so I guess you could say in that sense, but the border on the regular hollow was. The only thing that was different was the fact that right here you had a silver star, so you had holographic star, and then the name was holographic, so it was the HP, and then it had the name embossed on it, but these were technically parallel hollows. Some of them just had the difference of the name itself on it. All right, next up we have the Gold Star Charizard. I do only have one of these now. I did have two of these. I did sell one right before the boom, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Who knows? It might have went the other direction if I hadn't sold it. Here we have the Charizard from Power Keepers. This is the last set for Generation 3, so not many Charizards that you have to collect for an entire generation, but you have the regular hollow and the reverse hollow. The reverse hollow was much harder for me to obtain, but you can see right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Charizards for an entire generation. Kind of crazy to think about now. All right, now we're moving into Diamond and Pearl. First time we see it is with Secret Wonders, and again, this will be the third set, if I'm remembering right. I believe it's the third set. I believe you had Diamond and Pearl base. Was it Secret Wonders next? Maybe it was the second one. I know there was Great Encounters in there in the beginning. You had Mysterious Treasures. I think maybe I forget the order on some of that. PK should know, right? He's got all of them. I used to have this stuff pretty well memorized, but I don't anymore. Here's the hollow version of that one. A lot of these have the hollow bleed, but this one does not. Storefront Charizard. Now this one has seen a significant increase in price, and surprising, but not surprising. It is the original base set artwork, just kind of modernized a little bit, not too much. But I want to say this was the first reprint since Legendary Collection, because we did not get one in Generation 3. Here we have Supreme Victor's Charizard G Reverse Hollow. Imagine something like this is really tough to find now. So it's going to be getting harder and harder with some of these Diamond and Pearl sets, because not many people are opening them up. Here we have the Level X number 143. This is from the pack. You would think that this would be tougher, but this one right here, now this is the really hard one, the DP45, because if you guys don't know, the old window tins, they used to have these issues where there'd be 1, 2, 3, 4 marks potentially on every promo that come out, because they pushed them into the plastic. Just I don't know what they use, but I imagine somebody taking their finger and just sticking it right there. As bad as the marks were, but a lot of the promo Level X's from this era, very tough to get. I believe this is a low pop card. It used to be like 7. Hopefully it's more than that by now, but still going to be ridiculously low. Just saw a sale for this card on Fanatics, like $130,000. At least that's what the bid went for. I don't know if it was paid for, but I saw Charizard Perfection. Yeah, I think that's who I saw doing it. He has a lot of these Charizards as well. Me and him were competing for a while for the set registry on PSA, and I believe he has almost all of these Charizards that I'm showing you as well. Here we have the Cracked Ice Arceus. Apparently that's a $10,000 card now according to Z&G. Or was that one, or maybe it was another Cracked Ice one. Here's the reverse holo from Arceus. And there is the Cosmos foil from Arceus. Arceus, I don't know what it is. Now we're moving into black and white. So that was Diamond and Pearl. You had 3, 6, 9. You only had 10 Charizards from the Diamond and Pearl era. And that included Call of Legends and Platinum. Heart Gold, Soul Silver, you know, all that stuff. But we have Plasma Storm, Charizard, very tough to grade. Even back in the day, I remember submitting 42 of these at once, and it just did not happen. Sorry, somebody's over here texting me. It's about a wedding now. Here we go. We got the the Boundaries Cross Holo Charizard. You had the regular, you have the reverse, and then again another Cosmos. Very tough to get this one. Super low pop. Legendary Treasures. You got the holo. You have the reverse holo, and then you have the Cosmos holo. This was the last one that I added to my collection from what I remember, or next to last. It was this one or the Legendary Collection one. Not Legendary Treasures, Legendary Collection. This one was just really tough to get in a 10. Super low pop for a while. I want to say it's around 10 now for that one, but which this one may be lower now. All of them ridiculously low, super hard to find. Moving on to X and Y. How many was that for black and white? So we had 3, 6, we only had 7. Yeah, 7 black and white Charizards. Now we're going to get into some extras. Now, if there were some promos that I missed, sorry about that, but I don't think I did. All right, so we have XY number 17, the Charizard EX. We have Flash Fire, which has an 11, 12, 13, the Mega Charizard, the 69 Mega Charizard. Then you had Full Art Charizard. Then you had the Ultra Rare or Secret Rare for both of those. So just in Flash Fire alone, there was as many Charizards as there were in the entire previous generation. And that's not including the promo and another promo, XY29. These are all 10s, or they should be. Now this is a card that you guys, if you've been around here on the channel, you know I invested pretty heavily in this. Like I bought 720 of these. It was over 1,000 of them at one time for roughly $5 a piece. And then I just stuck them in binders and let them sit there. And eventually I did grade them. I got a handful of 10s out of them. But I've sold most everything at this point. Most of the grades were 9s. All right, Generations had the Charizard EX number 11. Then you had the Mega Charizard, the Shiny Mega Charizard number 12. Then you also had the Radiant Collection Charizard, which is an uncommon. This was a bulk card for the longest time. And then we enter Evolutions. Let's see. Evolutions. Yeah, so Evolutions has a lot. All right, so we have the Reverse Holo Charizard. We have the regular Holo Charizard. We have the pre-release stamped Holo Charizard. We have the staff pre-release stamped Holo Charizard. Then you have the Charizard EX. This one is like missing some kind of layer of ink. I don't know how well you can tell, but that's why it's in the collection, not a different card. The Mega Charizard, and then we had the 2 Charizard Spirit Links, had the regular and the reverse. And then finally you had the Full Art Mega Charizard EX. And the big card for that was actually the holographic Charizard. And so the staff and the regular, there were the regular pre-release and the staff pre-release. They're pretty tough to come across. But the regular holo one, if you graded that one, because you could get it for fairly cheap, it was expensive even back then. All right, now we move on to Sun and Moon Generation 7. Yeah, so we have the SM60 Charizard GX, third set with Burning Shadows, and then you had the Hyper Rare, which this one had an uncorrected error. Let's see if we can look at it here. If you look right there, there's texture for the third energy, for a third energy retreat cost. Rumored that some people had this card in a corrected form, but I've just never seen it. So it'd be cool to find. If there was a corrected version, then I would have to pursue that in a 10. All right, we have Dragon Majesty. This is the non-holographic version that you can get in Let's Play Eevee. Here's the reverse holo from the set, and then all of these that weren't reverse holo were holo in the set. So that's how you know this particular version came from the Let's Play Eevee. Moving along. Told you guys, we have a lot of Charizards. All right, Team Up. We have the pre-release in a 10. We have the pre-release staff stamp in a 10. We have the non-holo. We have the reverse holo, and then we have the Cosmos holo. Tough to get that one right there. Here's the cracked ice. So, I mean, this one card had, that one had 4 versions. Cosmos, cracked, reverse, and non-holographic. Then we have the Detective Pikachu Charizard GX. Then we have just the regular Detective Pikachu Holo Charizard. We have the figure collection. You could get these pretty easy back in the day. Then you have the Reshiram Charizard GX. You have the regular, you have the full art, and then you have the Rainbow Rare, which I'm going to show you guys a second version here in a second. The other version of this right here actually has a pink dot on the back side there. And the only reason I kept this one, because normally I don't keep ink dot ones, but I personally had 2 versions with that exact same pink dot out of like 5 cards that I had opened up. And so it may be a repeated error, it may not. Next up, we have the Reshiram and Charizard GX, but these are the World Championship versions. We have the Firebox and Perfection. Next up, we have Charizard GX from the 10, and the Hidden Fates promo as well. Then you have the Hidden Fates Shiny Charizard, the big one. That one was a game changer for a lot of people. This guy right here, I was able to grade one of these myself. If I'd known that these were going to be so hard to grade, I probably would have went harder after them, but hindsight's 2020, right? Charizard and Braxton GX, another promo. Then we have the one from Cosmic Eclipse, along with the full art. I really like Cosmic Eclipse. I thought it would have done better compared to Team Up, but just because it had all 3 of the starters and, you know, their full lineups. So you got the Rainbow Rare there. We have the Battle Academy. Number 60. This is the non-holo Battle Academy. You might also recognize this from the Dragon Majesty, but the reason it's with this is because of the year. Technically, it's a little bit later. We have the Darkness Ablaze, another 3rd set. Usually, a lot of times, the 3rd set in a block has Charizards, and then there's the VMAX. There's the regular V from the Champions Path Elite Trainer. We have the Secret Rare. Then this is the one my daughter pulled, so that one come back in a black label. Then we have the Rainbow Rare VMAX, Vivid Voltage plus the Staff pre-release. We have regular Vivid Voltage non-holo. This would, I believe, come from the theme deck. Then you've got the reverse holo. You got, or this one comes from the theme deck. Sorry, the cracked ice. I was bulk selling them things in tins for like $39.99. I imagine they have went up a little bit since that time. All right. Next up, we have the Celebrations Charizard in a 10. We have the UPC Metal Charizard only in a 9. So I believe this is the first 9 that I've shown you guys. Here we have the Shining Fates Charizard VMAX. This is a card, like I said, I have multiples of. I'm not going to show you, but I was buying these for like $200 a piece. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to set these back. You know, it's a big hit from Shining Fates. Same thing with this one. I was buying these for, at first I want to say 50 to 75, and then I was buying them for $100. And I believe I only have 10 of these set back, but it's because, I mean, it's a pretty tough card to find if you're if it ever becomes popular. Like it would, I think it would take off a lot harder than it shows with the value to like how available it was, because it was released so late because of COVID. Now we have Lance's Charizard V. I really like that card. I should have graded more of them. We have the Brilliant Stars. We have the Pokemon Go. That one's a 9. Look at that. Some of these modern cards I haven't pursued, and so I may not have them in a 10. You're going to see some holes picking up now. We've got the Special Delivery in a 10. Of course, I have all of the Charizard UPC 10s. Then we have the Prize Pack Series 1 Mint 9. So like that's one I haven't pursued that much for the value versus, you know, what it's going to cost for what it'd be worth to me. I have a Bear Walker. I bought this one, picked up pretty cheap, so I thought that wasn't too bad to have. We have the Radiant Charizard. I do have multiple of these. You guys know I was picking them up for a while there for about $7.50 or so, and so I set several of them back. This one right here, was this the one that I believe this is the one that I pulled on video and that I graded. And then we have the Mega Charizard. Yeah, this one was pulled by my daughter Emma, and so I bought it from her for $1,700 at the time, and then recently just had a lot of these graded. All right, so that's like the regular EX or regular Charizards in a 10. We're getting close to about halfway through on the Charizards, but that's going to be the most variety I think that you see. Just to have a little break to break it up between, I'm going to show you guys these. I do have these as well. So we have like the Charizard box topper from Legendary Collection. We've got the Crystal Charizard box topper. We've got the Expedition base set pack Charizard artwork. This is the long pack in a 10. Here we have the Triangle Error in a 10. Looks like I've got a 9 here, but this one shows the 1 a little bit more, so I kept this one just to give a better idea of what's going on with this black triangle and why it is even there. Here's a this is a long crimp shadowless Charizard artwork. Here we just have a standard base set pack. And then we have a first edition one as well. And I just picked up a few packs off of Golden from about 2 weeks ago. Those just come in, so I do have a short crimp, but it's only a 9. I just picked up this art set. It went for a decent price. And so I'll probably sell these. I might set back the Charizard artwork since I don't have the short crimp for some reason, but I do have the long crimp in first edition. So those are tougher to find. All right, so let's jump into here. So we have a WotC first edition base set Charizard. Got that one in a Gem Mint 10, still in the this case from the TCG Hall of Fame. Here we have a shadowless Charizard in a Gem Mint 10, regular base set. Then we have 1999-2000. So the dates down here say 1999-2000, but this isn't base set 2. This is just the regular base set. It's pretty tough to find that one. Base set 2 got the Dark Charizard, the non-holographic, then you have the unlimited holo, the unlimited non-holo Dark Charizard. Here we have a Blaine's Charizard in a 10, first edition. Here's the regular error. Here's the one that was pulled on camera. If you guys saw that video, it's got the fire symbol right there. This was the exact one that I pulled, so that's one of my treasured cards in the collection. I love having it here. All right, we're going to keep chugging right along. We have the Shining Charizard first edition. We have the Unlimited Shining Charizard. These cards are getting very tough to come across now. The prices are starting to spike. I think people are realizing, hey, most of the mint ones, they've been graded, so I'm not going to find it on the open market. I don't feel like chasing down a Neo Destiny box because that's going to be very expensive, and then I might not even get the Shining Charizard. And then even if I do pull it, it may not get the 10s. So it's just easier to buy the card, move on, you know what you have. All right, and then this one right here, I paid a lot for back in the day, but I believe the prices went up significantly. I want to say it was like $25K plus some extra trade as well. And at the time that it set a precedent, maybe a little bit more than that, I can't remember, but I'm not sure where it sits now. We have the reverse holo Charizard, much higher pop on this one, but I believe it's becoming more and more desirable. Here's the theme deck holo, one of the very first theme deck promos ever printed by Pokemon, at least on the English side. I'm not sure how it worked on the Japanese side. I don't think that well, I guess they did because they had the no rarity cards in their original theme decks. Here we have the Expedition Charizard. I do like this artwork. I know a lot of people don't. They think it's dumb, but I do like it. And then we have the reverse holo number 39, the reverse holo number 6, the reverse holo number 40. And I should have the non-holos too. I must have left those in the box. So there's a few cards that I didn't pull out. Here we have the reverse holo Crystal Charizard. We have the regular holo Crystal Charizard. Now we get into a few pristine cards that I have. So like if you remember, the metal Charizard, I had it in a 9. I guess that was technically the first 9. I misspoke there when I was going through, and I said that other one was the first 9. We'd already seen one. But I do have it in a pristine 10, and so that's why I haven't pursued it that hard for the PSA 10. It's very expensive. I would love to, get the PSA 10, but the pristine 10, it definitely holds a nice spot there. I do like the original Celebrations release of the Charizard on the English side, so got that one in a 10. Now, not every card I have in a pristine 10. I just have some that I've picked up here and there, and if I get them, then I set them back in the collection. There's a Brilliant Stars Charizard V, one of the more underrated, I believe, Charizards that were out there because it was an alt art. Then we have all 3 of the UPC promos in pristine 10. I do have multiples of those set back. Here we have some top stuff. I'm not going to go through all these different variations. Just know that every one of these cards has some kind of different variation. There's 20 total different ones, but I do have some duplicates where I have it in both CGC and PSA. But anyways, I'm going to show them to you now. It's like these are all first print here. There's a rainbow foil. It actually says it, so you could pause the video if you want to see the difference. Second print. There's another second print. There's third print. Third. And some of these, I even have a perfect on that one. I tried to keep the highest grade plus any PSA 10s that I had. The unfortunate thing about the PSA side is, as far as I know, they still don't make a differentiation in any of the non-chrome Topps Charizards, even though there are several variations. They will differentiate between silver and rainbow foil, but they won't for like first, second, third, fourth, fifth, or UK print. I'm not sure why. Maybe they've changed that in the past few years. I would love to get my stuff relabeled, but like if we're looking at that, I mean, it's a pretty easy difference. There's a blue label Topps there and there's black there. So I mean, that's clearly something different that you can tell by looking at the card. But yeah, these are going to be all 10s. You can see that some of them are foils. Pretty tough to come across. This one right here is a 5th print. This was the hardest one, I believe, to tell a difference in, but you could probably see it in the stock. But that's a 5th print. Was that UK? And UK version is completely different. And then we also have the chromes. There's regular chrome. They do specify for Spectra, Sparkle, and Techno. And these are very obvious because they're different hollow patterns, and on the back they actually say what they are. All right, next up we have some Charizards that I have additionals of, so not just sitting on, you know, one copy of them. Let's see what all we have here. So we have some Shadowless Charizards in CGC 10. I think for what this card is, the grade that it is, how much you pay for it, how much a Shadowless box costs, I think these are still so underrated. I thought about picking, there's a couple more that have popped up on the market, more than I was paying, because I was paying around $10,000. I don't know. Maybe I'll pick up those other ones, but they're not 10K that I'm seeing anymore. But if I could still get them for around that price, I would. So I might be watching some of the auctions. But anyways, here we have a gray stamp Charizard. You can see how much lighter that first edition champ is, or first edition stamp is. This is an 8. Here we have a PSA 8 again. Have a CGC 8.5 and an 8.5 on PSA. If you guys remember, I had all of the grades from 1 to 10. Well, at least all of the whole number grades, and then most of the in-between grades, and some of them I had multiples of. I had like 5 of PSA 1. I had I had one PSA 1.5, 2 BGSs 1.5, but I moved anything that was below an 8, and I've moved a few of my 8s, but I haven't. I don't know if I've moved any of my personal 9s yet. But anyways, we have a CGC 9 here, another CGC 9, another CGC 9. There's a PSA 9. Here's a PSA 9 that the case is also signed by Mitsuhiro Arita with a little sketch. I don't know if they would encase this, like, since it's an item that's been drawn on. I don't know how that would work. But yeah, so those are all first edition Charizards there. I'm trying to remember what all is still left in the stack. So we have a first edition base set Charizard here. These are CGC Gem Mint 10, so I got 2 of those. Oh yeah, so we have a Pristine Blange Charizard. We have a Pristine base set Charizard. This is a no rarity Gem Mint 10 for CGC. The PSA one just apparently sold, as long as all of this is accurate, it was $1,700,000, which is crazy. And I'm getting a lot of offers on the PSA 9 that I have on eBay, but this is the only card I think I've shown that may go to auction, just because it's going to be the last Japanese Charizard I think in my collection, other than some modern ones that I've set back. Here we have a 4 position only Charizard in CGC Gem Mint 10. We have a Crystal Charizard Pristine 10. Here we have the Cosmos Test Foil Charizard in Gem Mint 10 from CGC. This one, I'm curious to see where this goes in time, because this is, I mean, it's really a beautiful card. People have talked about having this foil on the original base set, and you can actually get it with this card. Here we have the Disco Print Charizard CGC 10. I don't know what this would be valued at now. I gave a lot of trade value for it back in the day. And then last but not least, we have the Dark Charizard in Pristine 10. So there we go. That's a lot of Charizards, a lot of me talking to you guys. I've been asked if I'm going to move my entire collection now that the prices have went something crazy. You know, I don't really have anything that I could move the money into that I'd want to. Anyways, like if I was buying a piece of property, like who would want to spend $10 million on a property? And then you got to pay $4 million in taxes on the money that you just made. And then you got to worry about the taxes on the property that you just bought, and the maintenance and the upkeep. And then to me, it just seems kind of crazy. But yes, I have considered moving everything because, you know, it could change our life, but I don't know if it would change it for the better. I mean, what am I going to do? Sit around and do nothing all day? I built this collection not with the intent of seeing it grow to 8 figures, but you know, I do also need to keep in mind, maybe one day I will have an exit strategy, or maybe I'll hold it for 50 years, die, and then let my kids have it, or my great grandkids. I mean, that'd be kind of cool, right? inheriting a Pokemon collection. I mean, I don't know how many people are going to hold on to all these kinds of Charizards now that the prices are going up. You're seeing a lot of stuff go up for sale. But for now, I'm holding on to this stuff pretty tight. The Japanese stuff, I have let some of it go. Really, only one card is sold. That was 17 cards. One is sold. The other 16 are still sitting in Buy It Now. But I do plan to send them to the eBay marquee auction if they're not picked up and Buy It Now soon. That way, at least I can trade out some of the stuff and then use that to put towards some of the other things that I bought. Especially with this last golden auction, I picked up a very expensive set. If you were watching Cam's stories, let's just say I bought the one thing he was telling people not to bid on, and I went and bid on it even after I saw what he had said, because I think it's pretty cool. I'll show it to you guys here in 3 weeks or whenever it is that they do finally ship it out. It takes a little time for them to clear out the funds, rightfully so. With this one, it's pretty expensive, but anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. I know it was very long, a lot of me talking, having to talk much faster than normal so that we could get through it in a timely manner, but I hope to see you guys in another video soon.